Are you viewing and reviewing the correct data in your Performance Max campaign? Because if you're not viewing and also reviewing the correct data in your Performance Max campaign, you are then unable to make those correct optimization decisions so that you can continue to improve and not ruin the level of sales and conversions that you're seeing in your Performance Max campaign. And the scary thing is that many business owners and digital agency staff are reviewing the incorrect data for their Performance Max campaigns, causing them to then make those incorrect optimization decisions, which is ultimately costing businesses thousands of dollars in sales and revenue every single day. My name is Aaron Young from Define Digital Academy, and I'm your 15,000 hour Google Ads master. And in this video, I'm going to take you through how you can go through and see the exact and correct data in your Performance Max campaigns, because when you see that exact and correct data in your Performance Max campaigns, you can then make the best optimization decisions so that you can increase the revenue and the profits that your Performance Max campaigns are seeing. Now, I do need to stress that by design, Google does not give you as much information about their Performance Max campaigns as they do, say for example, in your search campaigns and your shopping campaigns. You do get some data, but it's just not the same level of data. So because we're already operating our Performance Max campaigns with a limited amount of data that we're receiving from Google, we need to make sure that we're seeing the most up-to-date data and that it's accurate so that we don't draw wrong conclusions or make the wrong optimization decisions. And the teaching that I'm going to take you through today is actually part of my upcoming course, which is called Sell More with Google. And it is specifically designed for e-commerce owners like you or people working in digital agencies to grow other e-commerce businesses. And it focuses purely on Performance Max and shopping campaigns. And if you would like to pre-register for that course right now, and by pre-registering, you'll get access to my exclusive pre-sale where I'll be giving you a discounted price and also including some extra bonuses that won't be available when we go to the full launch. And if you want to pre-register today, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description below. Okay, so the big issue that I want to teach on this video about Performance Max campaigns is that you need to understand that with Performance Max campaigns, they have a much larger acquisition window than other campaigns like search campaigns or shopping campaigns. And this means that when you're going into your Google Ads account and optimizing your Performance Max campaigns, you need to understand that the data that you are viewing over the previous 1 or 3 weeks may not be 100% accurate. And the reason for that is because all of the conversions may not have actually fed into that Performance Max campaign. So you might be looking at a Performance Max campaign which is recording $10,000 of revenue over the last week, when in fact the actual revenue may be $18,000 or $20,000. And right now, let me show you what I mean and how you can go through and actually find an approximate of what your acquisition window is for your current Performance Max campaigns. Let's go have a look. To see your current acquisition window data, what you need to do is you need to go into your Performance Max campaigns in here, and then this will bring up all of your individual Performance Max campaigns. In this account, we have 4 different Performance Max campaigns running at the moment. And what you need to do is you need to either go into your cost per conversion or your conversion value cost tab. And when you roll over that figure that you're seeing, you will then see this data. And you can see for this one, it says this bid strategy is projected to receive another 31.2 conversions. And then it also gives you this data. It says it takes up to 16 days after the impression for most of your conversion data to be reported. And then it does give a little bit of a breakdown on what's going to be happening. But what I want to stress is that this is different for each individual campaign. So you can see this one brings up, it says 29 conversions with 24 days. This one is 19 conversions. And then this one in here, what I want to show in this one is that this is actually a new campaign, which has only been running for about 10 days. And because of that reason, we don't yet have the full data. And the other thing that I want to show you is that I've just changed this over to the last 7 days. Previously, we're looking at about 6 weeks of data. And you can see from here is that this same campaign campaign is that we've only got 66% of the previous data. And when we go back to the last 30 days, we've got 81% of that conversion data. So what you need to be really aware of is that where we're sitting at the moment over the last 31 days is that we've only got about 80% of this data in. And if we will go to the last 7 days, we've only got about 66% of the data in. So there's another potential 35 to 40% of data which can come in and increase this conversion value. The other thing that I wanted to stress is that when we go over to another account, and this is dealing with a different type of product, this first product that we spoke about had a higher purchase value, and also the item is clothing, so it's not 100%. Whereas when we go over to this other campaign, which is selling products which are a little bit cheaper, or the higher cost items are for a business to business, so people are needing these products straight away. When you come over and click on this conversion value cost data or the cost per conversion data, you can see that there is actually a really small acquisition window. So in the previous account, this acquisition window was ranging anywhere between 16 to 30 days. But for this account, as you can see through here, it's only taking up to 6 days for an impression for most of the conversion data to be reported. And we can see even in this account, while these top ones, it takes 6 days for the conversion acquisition window to be completed. For some of these campaigns which are in the same account, it can only take up to 2 days. Once again, versus this other account where it can take up to 16 days after an impression for most of the conversion data to be reported. And even in some cases, you can see in here, it's taking up to 24 days after the impression for most of your conversion data to be reported. So now that we know that we need to look at the acquisition window for our individual accounts and also those individual Performance Max campaigns. And in those campaigns that I showed you, we had campaigns that had an acquisition window of 2 days versus campaigns that had acquisition windows of up to 24 days. And I actually managed some other accounts where those acquisition windows are more than 30 days. So let's talk about why this happens. And the reason for that is that you need to remember that with Performance Max campaigns, they have an inbuilt discovery campaign in them. So when you're using search or shopping campaigns, you're very much dealing with people who are completing search terms who want to buy the product right now. Whereas with a Performance Max campaign, that discovery element of your campaign is going out and always trying to look for new audiences and even potential new keyword themes for groups of people who are completing certain types of searches with certain web histories and certain interests who are more likely to buy your product. So as the name suggests, it's an outreach and a discovery campaign where it's going through to find new people. And those people are then within the Performance Max campaign. Once they either see your ad, they continue to see your ad through different formats, whether that be through the display network or the Gmail network or on YouTube. And then when they come down to the action of completing a search, your Performance Max campaign will then show them your search or your shopping ads. And that's when the conversion action is more likely to appear. And then on top of that, even further, that if we don't get the conversion action when they complete that search, Performance Max campaigns have inbuilt remarketing campaigns into them in that they will then go through and continue to show your ads time and time again until they get that conversion or until that user has purchased a similar product or is no longer showing interest in your products or your services. So by design, the way that Google Ads has set up your Performance Max campaign in that they go through and do that outreach to people in the top of the funnel, then they hit those in-market searches and those in-market audiences, but then it doesn't stop there in that they continue to go through the remarketing and retargeting to try and get that conversion for your business. Because Performance Max campaigns operate in this manner, it means that your acquisition windows will also be longer. So what you need to do is you need to go through and firstly review your acquisition windows. And if your acquisition windows are like some of the campaigns that I showed you, 24 days or more, that means that the conversion data and the conversion metrics that you're looking at aren't going to be 100% accurate for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So before you go through and make any changes to your bidding optimizations or to your budgets, or even to turn off a campaign, you need to make sure that you've got all of that data so that you're getting the full picture of the success or the areas that you need to improve on for your Performance Max campaigns. And then further than that, because Performance Max campaigns have that inbuilt discovery campaign inbuilt into the way that the campaign functions, you need to make sure of these 2 things. Firstly, you need to make sure that despite what some so-called Google Ads experts are pushing on YouTube, you need to make sure that your asset groups are based around products or groups of products, not around audiences. And then secondly, you need to make sure that you're not only focusing on your ROAS metrics, so your cost per conversion value. And while that is an important metric to focus on, you need to also make sure that you're always increasing your impressions. And if you see any drastic reduction in the number of impressions, you need to be very, very careful, because this could mean that you're going to be seeing less conversions in the following weeks when that acquisition window finishes. Remembering the first contact points that people are seeing with your product could be happening up to 3 or 4 weeks beforehand. So if you see a drop in impressions this week, it could mean that in 3 or 4 weeks, you're also going to see lower conversions. Now, the good news is that on both of these issues, I've already released some free training right here on my YouTube channel. But in both cases, I also go through in greater detail in my new upcoming course, Sell More with Google. So remember, if you wanted to pre-register for that course so you can get access to my exclusive pre-sale, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description right here. And then finally, if you would like to see some further free training on these issues, you can go through and watch these videos. So if you want to see more about why you should be setting up your Performance Max campaigns based around product-based asset groups and not those audiences, you need to go through and watch this video right here. Or if you want to see some further teaching on why you need to always be reviewing your impressions and not just single-mindedly focusing in on your ROAS scores, I want you to go through and watch this video right here. Once again, thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time. See ya.